So I've been looking at my Daughters of Difficult Mothers channel, and I'm going to do a nice banner for that one. But I saw that a video that got over 1,000 views was the one for sons of narcissistic moms. And I think that there aren't enough videos that specifically discuss the sons of narcissistic moms, narcissistic fathers too. I remember there was somebody who, it was a man who filmed his father in a narcissistic rage. And the narc father knew he was being filmed. And it didn't slow him down one bit. Those eyes went black and he... Oh my God, this poor guy. It reminded me of recently, well, like within the past month or so. Now it's got to be longer. In the fall. Prince Charles, when he was just becoming King Charles, they filmed him. He was signing some sort of document, and something was in his way, the pen stand or something, and he went, "Arr!" and he growled real nasty at one of his servants, because the royals have actual servants. They're servants. And I thought the expression on his face was so frightening. And I've seen it before. One was that demon father who was terrorizing his adult son. And I've seen it in my mother. Get out of here! And then she doesn't remember that she did that, or she rewrites her memory and blocks it out. I guess because there's shame attached, or maybe she does have a bit of a split personality. And it's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing. And they don't remember their rages. It's almost like being a blackout drunk. Almost. They're blackout narc. Ooh, that's a good video title, right? Blackout narc. But sons. So I've observed them. And I did make a previous video, as I said. But I'm going to speak on it again. I'm getting a little more reach now with my videos, and I want sons of narcissistic mothers to feel heard. Also, borderline personality disordered moms. This sets these men up for terrifying future relationships, Xander, where they reenact the dysfunction that they were raised with. Now, this is true for all of us, but I want to specifically talk about the sons because there are certain aspects of the narc mom, abused son, enmeshed son that are a bit different. So, yes, enmeshment. We know what enmeshment feels like when we're not permitted to have our own opinions, to watch our own shows, to have our own eating habits and hobbies, and especially we're not allowed to disagree with the narcissist because they cannot handle even the slightest criticism or disagreement. See, people think a narcissist is somebody with this big, full opinion of themselves. No, it's grandiosity. And then if you point out that they are flawed and vulnerable, fragile humans, they will destroy you for that. Or if you disagree with them. Or if you become weak, and that sours the supply. So you could look up narcissistic supply, because that's who we are to them. Anybody who fawns over them or gives them any kind of emotional fuel, someone to talk about, someone whose accomplishments they'll take credit for, any of that. But mostly our attention is called supply. Once they've groomed us, love-bombed us, given us that inconsistent love and attention, and then the discard comes because we're broken now, and we've just been trying to run faster to do things for them and agree with them and help them, and if only I could just be better at making them happy. And then we get discarded. because we're disgusting to them now. It's just like, ugh, you're not even a challenge anymore. You have no self-worth and no self-esteem. You're not worth tearing down. Away with you. That's the discard. Sons that I've witnessed with their narcissist moms, sometimes borderline, their enmeshment can involve being treated like an emotional boyfriend or an emotional husband. Oftentimes, the son's father will be an enabler to the narcissist mom. And you could just fill in narcissist, alcoholic, addict, borderline, but we're talking specifically about narcissists and the aspects that we learn about here on YouTube and other social media and really good books. Start with any malignant self-love. Start there. That's Dr. Sam Vaknin. He is the authority on narcissistic personality disorder. If you want the authority on borderline personality disorder, look up Shari Schreiber. And then there's other people who write beautifully, maybe even more accessible than those two, but they are my go-to. They are like the alpha. They are patient zero. They are the ones who really know what's going on, in my opinion. Oh, why wouldn't I give you my opinion? Whose opinion would I give you? Anyway, so the son. The enmeshment is different. They become the emotional partner, the emotional lover, the emotional, what do they call it? They call it emotional incest. I know it's a harsh word, but usually it's because the father is absent. Perhaps he died. Perhaps it's a divorce situation. Perhaps it's a single mother situation. And the son will, the mother will see the son as betraying her if he tries to have his own friends, a girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, his own interests apart from her. He's supposed to be there for her. And sometimes the son will end up supporting her financially. Sometimes the son will have to support her through a chronic illness, because when they see that the son, when the narcissist sees the son going off and making quality friends or having interests outside of her, oh, all of a sudden, oh, I needed you to drive me to the doctor, but I guess if you're busy with your friends, the enmeshment is different. And it's very hard to break away from them. And if they do, what I've witnessed is they will get into relationships, the enmeshed son, and then their partner gets tortured by the mother, tortured by her mother-in-law, or just, whoever she is, the mother is to the partner. And then triangulation happens. You believe what they said to me? I mean, who are you going to believe? Them or your mom? I took care of you all your life, and this is how you treat me. And they ruin holidays, and they ruin weddings, and it's hard to get away from them. Because enmeshment isn't just they have their claws in their son. It's not just that. It's that they make their sons weak, so they can't function without the narcissist mother on top of them constantly. And then the guilt tripping, if God forbid you try to have your own life. Only sons have it the worst, I think, because there's no other sibling to mitigate. But you know that there are the golden child, the scapegoat, everybody plays their role. They make their sons incapable of having a solid, intimate relationship with someone else. What's the solution? And I have seen a few break away from the enmeshment and the guilt tripping. I have seen it, and they they got out. Now, it doesn't mean that their marriages or relationships are 100% healthy either, because they, still have a lot to work through. But I have seen them defy the mother. Feels good to watch it. It's like, good, because you're an adult now. And her husband is alive, or she has a boyfriend. She should be leaning on them, not you. You can't be everything to her. And being everything to her. And they won't, but Friday's our night to eat dinner together. Really? You're taking up a prime weekend night for dinner? Don't you want your son to have quality friendships and things to do, and the theater to go to, and lectures to go to, and parties to attend? No, is the answer. They don't. They don't want to see their sons thrive. They just want to be adored, worshipped, doted on, and catered to, while the son's life force dwindles down to nothing. And I watch the sons get chronic illnesses. And then they can do the back and forth. They can do the battle for who's sicker. They can complain to each other and whine to each other. They're like an anchor. See, a man has to go out in the world and prove himself. And I'm speaking from an anthropological perspective. Don't get sexist on me. I'm just talking about anthropologically what we see when we study males across continents. Their coming of age usually has a ritual attached to it. And if you're talking about indigenous, tribal people, they have to go on a vision quest or hunt or something. They have to, or land diving or something to prove themselves. And just read up on it, because it echoes the need for differentiation from the parents. I see it because I'm in college. I teach college, and I have a master's in counseling with a concentration with the higher ed population. And so they're away from home, they're away from their parents. They can explore all kinds of different options for themselves, because there's all these beautiful clubs on campuses and different lectures and majors and minors and courses and workshops. Parents are none the wiser, and we are not permitted to talk to anyone's parent. Nope, you're over 18. You're a sovereign adult. Only in a very unusual situation would any of the higher ed personnel discuss anything with a parent. So yeah, they're safe. And sometimes they'll come back from something like that, and the mother tries to re-enmesh them, and they're not having it. So coming of age, differentiation from the parent is necessary to be a healthy adult. You can't be your parents. And if what you do, because sometimes the golden child role is the one who pleases the mother or the parents the most, why can't you be like your brother the doctor? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying. Remember that movie with Mary Tyler Moore, Ordinary People? That sticks with me. I'll never forget it. And she finally breaks down and cries, why couldn't you be the son who died? Because she loved her other son who died, loved him more. Obviously, I just gave away the movie, but it's been out for 40 years, so, come on. But the theme of it was about how the scapegoat lived, but the golden child died. Accidentally. It wasn't a murder or anything. How that must hurt to have a mother who picks favorites like that. Oh my God, I have all the sympathy in the world. But, I also have the sympathy for the one who stays enmeshed with the mother. Because who are you? Who are you? You're mama's boy. That's what you are. You see, a man has to differentiate a little bit differently, or it's expected to. Again, anthropologically, they were expected to get on their own 2 feet earlier. They're expected to be breadwinners. They're expected to succeed financially, even more so than the daughter. How are you supposed to do that when you have this creature trying to pull you down and criticize you? Like, and it's constant. Like, sometimes I'll hear it. Like, I'll be out in public or at an event or something, and I hear the dynamic going on. Now, I like ketchup with my burger. You couldn't remember this one thing? I mean, how long have we been going to this restaurant together? You couldn't remember to grab the ketchup packets? My God, you're selfish. I'll hear things like that. I'm like, lady, he should open up the ketchup packet and right in your face. No, don't do that, because the backlash would be brutal. Brutal. And then they pick wives or partners, sometimes, who are just like the narc mom. Because that's what love is, right? Somebody who's demanding and critical. Or they'll get like a super doormat enabler type. And maybe that'll take some of the pressure off of, the enmeshed son. The partner can, take some of the heat. Or sometimes triangulation. You know what that is. When there's a third person involved, and then the narc is like, can you believe what she did? Can you believe what my son did? Would you ever do that to your mother? I mean, you know what he says about you, right? Oh yeah, they'll try to destroy your relationships. You have it tough. I'm going to do a few of these videos for the sons. But the enmeshment piece, God, can you ever break away from them in a healthy way? A healthy way. That's still going to be the grandmother to your kids. Some people like, nope, she will never see her grandkids. Nope. Not allowing it. We can visit, maybe, because you know that there's a thing as grandparents' rights now. Yep. At least in my state there is. I'm in New Jersey. Yeah, they could sue. Not for money. I mean, they could sue for the right to see their grandkids, but it could be a supervised visit or whatever. You might be in a financial position where you have to leave the kids with grandma. Narc grandma. While you go out and earn money. God help you, because you know what's going on when you're not around. Oh, well, you know what your father was like when he was a little boy. Undermining you, making decisions behind your back. So the funny thing about enmeshment is the betrayal they feel when you try to be your own person. And the rejection and the sabotaging that happens. Okay, I'm going to go into my room now. It's 8 o'clock. I want to watch blah, blah, blah. Oh, but we always watch blah, blah, blah together. You're just going to leave me? Well, you're going to watch blah, blah, blah. I have to watch some other thing. Oh, you're just like your father. When problematic, difficult mothers tear down your father, it is especially damaging for sons to hear this. I mean, my mother did it to me, and it was painful, and she has alienated all my father's relatives. Yes, they will come for game night, they will come for visits that I'm the hostess of over there. So she's not going to misbehave, but they don't call her. Because she starts up. And they used to apologize to me, like, I didn't know you called, and she started in on my father. And they say, I'm just so sorry. I feel bad. I know she's old, but I just can't hear her talk like this about your father. He's my brother. I'm like, oh, I get it. He's my father. So, yeah, I get it. It's horrible. Why does she continue to do it? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. They emasculate men. You know what that means. They clip their nuts right off. And this time I mean the balls nuts. Not the eating nuts. They emasculate men. They tear them down. Is it out of jealousy? Is it because they hated their father? And they have to just come after men? They seduce and then destroy. I guess it's the only way they feel powerful, is to tear other people down. And one of my lights went out. That's very distracting. I have ambient lighting, and if one little light goes out, I notice. They want to turn the lights right off of these men, and sometimes the man wises up, starts hanging out with friends, sometimes gets a mistress, sometimes leaves altogether. And in order to cover up that the narc mother was so horrible, and that's why daddy left for a nicer lady. Sometimes they're not. They get love bombed again and get into a narc relationship again. Now they have to turn the son against the father. There are so many of these narcissist mothers. So many. Why? I'm beginning to think it's not even a mood disorder or a personality dysfunction disorder. I'm thinking it's just a personality type. And we need to teach classes in how not to be run over and dragged by these psychopaths. I think they're a type of psychopath, truly. But the statistics are, it's just, I notice these behaviors. And they get these high-paying, elevated, prestige jobs, these women. Remember Big Bang Theory? Not Sheldon's mother. The other one. David. I call him David because he played David on Roseanne. I can't think of his name right now. It's middle age. You just lose names. But I remember Christine Baranski's the actress who played the mother. Penny and what was his name? But she was one of those cold, controlling, narcissist mothers who emasculated that poor boy. Man. But he won in the end because he got a beautiful, warm, sweet, fun, lovely girlfriend. I think they eventually married, right? Leonard. Right? Was it Leonard? Or was Leonard the one with the mother you never saw? She was off screen. All right. Let's ask the robot. Cast of the Big Bang Theory.
There are more than 60 people in the cast of the Big Bang Theory.
It was Leonard.
Here are the first 3.
Why do I doubt myself? Well, funny thing. once I upload this to Daughters of Difficult Mothers, thank you, droids, Daughters of Difficult Mothers, I'm going to make a video for the Lisa Sarge's channel about imposter syndrome. Wonder where that came from. I can't imagine. All right, if you have any topic you want me to cover in general or specifically for sons of narcissists, let me know. I mean, there's what I've observed, and then there's probably more and other things. I want to serve that population too if you are underserved. You've been underserved enough by your narky, controlling mommy dearest. Please like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment, even if it's only a heart. Leaving comments on YouTube tells YouTube that my videos are worthy of, promoting to other people. And that helps me because I have cats to feed, like this one, and he's very large. Oh. Yeah, he's not going to look at the camera for spite. Enmeshed with my cat.